phone. So it sounds a little bit silly when we go through this to put it this way, but basically when we go through these, just looking for smooth, round, dry pipe, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and get started here. We're already covered. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. Okay, so definitely a ton of stuff in here right off the bat. And then we transition, so we go from that new ABS material right here, and then you can see we go to cast iron once we get behind the wall.
Oh.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to get into that. I'm going to try, though. Come on. There we go. Okay, yeah, and you can see as we... Oops. What's going on there? The lens covered. Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff in here. Push forward a little bit more and see if we don't get a better view. Here we go. Okay, so now we're back to that ABS. Let me push out, and then we'll pull back slowly. So you can see how much water is holding in the bottom of this. That's definitely part of the problem. These lines should be completely empty if you're not using them.
Okay.
Basically what happens is as that pipe starts to sag for whatever reason, that water starts holding in the bottom of it. And so as everything comes down the pipe, it just acts like the pool at the end of a water slide, right? Everything hits it and it just slows way down in the pipe.
Okay.
So let's keep pushing here. Yeah, there's a ton of water in here.
And where in regards to the pipe is that water probably? What portion?
That's what I'm going to find out here in a second.
Gotcha.
There is quite a bit of water standing in here, though. Is this going to be the drop down? Yeah, that's the drop down. So this will likely be right over by the bathroom.
Okay.
I'll put myself here because this is going to be gnarly when I pull it back. So at least in this section, exactly what we want to see, right? There's nothing structurally, anything crazy. There's not even a ton of buildup. And then we start to hit that belly in the line, that sagging. And now all of a sudden we're underwater. So the other thing to keep in mind is these cameras are just under, these smaller ones are just under an inch tall. We're only dealing with a 2-inch big line right now. Okay. So this is about, when the camera's covered like that, it's about half the pipe or more is completely submerged in water. Now, as we pull back, so that started at about 26. We're still going to 23. So that's about 3 feet long. It's definitely going to be one of those areas that's causing the issue. The hard part is to fix that, you're either going to have to restrap it. There's a potential to get that fixed that you might have to replace that section. You just don't really know until you get your hands on it. Sometimes when plastic stays in that kind of bent position, when you go to restrap it back up, because it's plastic, it's formed to that shape. So you go to push it up and the whole thing just moves like that instead of flattening out when you push that section up.
How do you get access to move it?
You'll have to go through drywall to get to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I would call the plumbing company that did the work and find out why.
What is that? That is just a big chunk of grease and hair. So this is the other thing to keep in mind too, and this actually is a great visual on, because the belly's in front of us. This is what happens with those bellies. Because everything's slowing way down and it's clogging, that's why in front of the belly, it looks weirdly free and clear. But as you get behind it, because everything's moving way slower...
So he should have gone through here yesterday to get that other clog out.
Well, it's not actually clogged yet. You still have flow. You can still use everything.
Well, I know, but it would have gotten out.
No, not with the snake. You would need a hydrojetter to get all this stuff out of here.
Oh, okay.
The clogs are basically just to, this sounds kind of gross, but basically mix out all the nastiness up in the line.
Okay.
And then let the water do the rest. Yeah, this definitely needs to be cleaned.
He said he could go through the P-trap or here, and he had me really nervous going about through here. So I said, why don't you go through the P-trap?
Also, it also, from a clog clearing perspective, does make sense to go through the tub because the tub is the thing that is furthest down that's affected, so it'll be the closest to the clog. That's kind of the other thing, especially when you use those smaller snakes, is the more turns you go through,